Hey, I'm going to be working on a Honda Accord 2013. Make sure your engine's kind of cooled off. The first thing that you want to do is pop the hood. And that's a little hood latch. Some people can't find them because they're different on so many different cars. And this is a 2013 Honda Accord Touring Edition, so it's got the V6 in it. The problem that we've had lately, I started getting less miles per gallon. Back whenever I did the transmission fluid, spark plugs, it's kind of an overall maintenance, a little bit over 60,000 miles. Then oil change, I got 36, 37 miles per gallon on the highway with a family of 3 loaded down on a 600 mile trip, and now it's down into the high 20s, low 30s. So I've done the air intake, the filter, which I also had done then, but right now you can pretty much see it's pretty clean still. Hopefully you guys could see that. The light changes so much. And let's see. So redid the spark plugs. I had a huge gap on the spark plugs. So now I'm going to be going to the mass airflow sensor. And that's going to be right here. So this is a Phillips head. Trying to do this one-handed. As you see, it's not some amazing screwdriver. Just a cheapie. And before I take it off, I need to take the connector off, which you press down right here, pull back. Now check and make sure your pins are good. I like to put it facing down if I can, so nothing falls in. And then get the rest of these screws out by hand. Here, here. I'm going to put them right here. Go back. Ooh, this thing comes out with ease. So, some people spray down in there, but this is different from all the ones I've seen. So, looks like right in there to clean. I'm not seeing any dirt. But that doesn't mean that it could be bad. I'm using this wonderful stuff, CRC, got from AutoZone, I believe. What you do, you shake it up, spray. Let's see. I'm going to spray some other little holes I see there. Make sure you don't get any into the connector, which is right now not too complicated for me. So. I got a lot on my hand from doing that. Now, you let that dry, probably for a good 10 or 15 minutes, and then you slide it back in. So I'm not saying, you don't really see anything come out. But this is one of the steps that costs like 10 bucks. I've ran fuel cleaner, an injection cleaner. It helps out a little bit, but then once the tank goes empty, it doesn't help out anymore. I used a higher grade of fuel, which actually got worse gas mileage. And that's why I'm looking at this wonderful little piece. So I'm still going to let it dry a little bit longer. So here's an area that I sprayed at. And most of it is kind of dried up in that area, but we still have some residual that drained down. That's why I like to spray it onto the surface, out of the sunlight, so you actually see how long it's going to take to dry. Then the next step would be maybe taking it apart and going for that throttle body right there and seeing if it needs cleaned up. Which could be a later on video because you got a lot more to disconnect to get there. And I mean, all you have to do afterwards is, once it dries, slide it back down in here. And I mean, it's just wide open clear. So as long as your air intake's not bad, your air filter's really built up. I mean, you can see whenever you open it up on how dirty it is. Hopefully this helps somebody out. If you have any questions, just let me know. There's no torque settings I know on the screws. Just make sure that you put them back in. And sometimes if you're going to leave it for a long time, you just take and put the screws right back in the screw hole. So you don't have anything go in. The other thing is probably cover that hole, which I've got a shop rag. This is going to be out for a little bit longer. And just stuff it in. Try to have a low lint, because you don't want anything to get into that air intake, because it's after your actual filter. Thanks again for watching. Just hit me up and I'll let you know anything that I find out, and I'll post an update if that fixes a problem.